What is happening, fishing friends? It is that time of year again. Christmas is right around the corner. And if you're like me, you procrastinate with Christmas shopping because I hate shopping. So I tend to put it off. Well, if you're still looking for some gifts for that angler in your life, or you've got some gift cards after Christmas and you're looking for some stuff, I wanted to go over my top 10 useful fishing items. So these top 10 items are things that you might not really think about in all your normal fishing. Of course, when you fish for tackle stuff, you're looking at rods, reels, lures, kind of a little bit different things that you might not think about. And also some items that you may already have or might be thinking about getting, and why I went with a certain kind. And we'll explain that more. So let's get started with the first one, your tackle backpack. Now, why this? Most people probably already have a tackle backpack. Well, for me, this is about 1.5 years old, still going strong. The year previous to getting this, I went through 2 different tackle bags in 1 year. And the, by far, number one most important part of this bag, it's how the shoulder straps attach to this bag. The previous 3 bags that I've had, the right shoulder is always the first thing to go. When I'm taking it off, it hits my arm, I drop it, or I'm bringing it up, it hits my shoulder. The left, sling doesn't really do anything, it's just hanging on there. The right one always rips off. They have multiple ways to enforce this. They've got double stitching up here, stitching on the back, how it actually connects. I should probably show it to you. There, multiple stitching up top, you can see here. See that? See there? Really good stitching. Rumpelstiltskin must have put this together for him or something, but I tell you what, that is the most important feature of this bag. Besides all the, pockets and all this stuff, that has been the biggest asset to this bag for me. Now, what else about this bag? Well, you can tell it's put together by people that actually go out and bank fish. It's got enough pockets for, heck, I don't know, you could put a small car in here. My little hook holder, I've got 2 3700 size Plano boxes in here. A couple guys like that, 2 of those in here. It's got pockets up inside. You can see there I've got some line in there for leaders, some finesse worms down here. It's got your holder for pliers here on the side, and that's actually pretty handy because as I'm walking, I can just have this on my back, grab it, go. It's got 2 pockets on the side, and we'll look at what's in those because there's gift ideas in there. When I get into this front pocket, you can see that's where I keep all my soft plastics, and it's honestly a jumbled mess. I might do a whole separate review on this, kind of how I use my backpack. I have it set up. Had a bunch of people ask for that. Of course, in the front of it, it's got that little mesh part, so when you're done using a lure, throw it in here, let it dry out with the sun. You never want to put a wet lure back in your tackle box with all the other hooks because it's going to rust. So it even has that. So, this thing has a ton of features. It is held up. It's durable. That's, for me, been the most important part about this backpack is it's durable. I probably honestly put too much gear in here. It's pretty heavy, but I want to be out and make sure I have everything because the last thing you want to do is get out to the lake and go, oh man, this lake's a lot clearer than I remember. I packed light. All I've got's dark water lures. So number one, the old backpack, but there's a number of things on here that, well, like this guy, I'm also going to recommend. The second thing is this. That's from the Boomerang tool company. Now it comes like this, just with this little split ring here on a little retractable deal. So you could fix this to your jeans or, I don't know, your tackle backpack. I happen to have mine with a little clip on it there, so I can just clip it on my pants pocket or on my bag and go. It's retractable. So even if I need to, I can reach around and grab it. I have the... Well, you know how it goes if you watch He-Man. But anyway, it's easy and accessible. It's small. What is it? Well, it's a line cutter. This little tool is extremely nifty, fits in your pocket, on your bag, whatever it is. For a number of years, I clip my line with my teeth. Oh, that makes me cringe, but just a done and go. I don't like to do that anymore for whatever reason. It gives me the heebie-jeebies if I snip it with my teeth. I used fingernail clippers for a while, but I tell you what, something like this is very valuable. So the third item, back to the backpack, inside here in one of my little pockets, and I will have all of these items linked down below, so I'll put them in the order that I'm talking about, and you don't need to go out and do some sort of search for them. Third item is this, a pair of split ring pliers. A lot of people don't really change out their treble hooks because it's such a pain in the neck, right? You have to use your fingernails and it's hard to do. I'm a huge proponent of changing out my treble hooks. And if you have this little tool, this little tooth, and I've done videos on this, how this thing works, it makes it easy. You can get them changed out in 30 seconds. These are extremely valuable. I think, ooh, look at those cat-like reflexes. I got these at Bass Pro Shops for like $4 or something like that. They actually have little braid cutters in here. And they do have your standard little pliers there at the end too. So it's a split ring and plier in one. Now they're not the most heavy duty. I would also advise getting yourself a good pair of regular pliers These are some old KVDs that I got, I don't know, years ago. I don't remember where I got them, but good heavy duty pliers like that. And these also have a braid cutter on them as well. So one of the two, if you know they have one but not the other, get them the other gift. A good set of heavy duty pliers and split ring pliers are very, very valuable tools for anglers. Rummaging around in my backpack, we'll look at item number 4, happens to be on this side. What in the heck is it? Well, it's some 550 paracord and a lure retriever. This is a new lure retriever I got last year. I lost my old one. I had my lure retriever on some twine and it snapped. I got it stuck on something and I broke it off. So I put some heavier duty paracord on here. You're out there fishing, you get a snag, it's a little ways in. If you're from the bank, you don't have a choice. You can't troll over like a boat, get it unstuck and move on. What this guy does is as your line's hanging out like this, you simply clip it on your line and send it down. Note this is called the lure retriever. It's a dog there. Retriever, dog, lure retriever. It's funny. Anyway, you send this down. The weight of this is supposed to knock the bait, whatever it's stuck on, and pop that up for you. And it has worked most of the time for me. The only time you don't really get it to work is if you're stuck down in a deep bunch of brush and it hits the brush before it. But I tell you what, 9 times out of 10, this thing will do work for you. So especially if you're a bank angler and can't get in there, this thing will pay for itself in just a few lures, especially if you fish the expensive stuff. A lure retriever. Number 5, we're gonna rummage over to the other side. Now this has changed the way that people weigh their fish forever. A pair of fish grips. I first saw these things, I don't know, 3 years ago or something like that on MLF. Oh boy, with the scale, you know, he's sitting there holding it and they clip it on, clip it off. I'm like, what is that thing? That makes it so much easier. Conventional scales like this that I've used my whole life have this thing where you have to stick it in their gill and they're jumping around. Sometimes you can get it, sometimes you can't, they plop off. With this thing, that's gone. Really, it's just like a pair of locking pliers, you know, the ones with the end where you screw it on, it gives a super grip. You can use it for a clamp or pliers, whatever it is. But that's the way these work. Put the fish's lip in there, clip it down, and it's stuck. Simply grab your scale, put it in the hole that's on here, and weigh them. It makes weighing the fish so much easier. It's better on the fish. You're not gonna rip out gills with, you know, this hook thing. Some people even take this and like jam it through the fish's mouth, so there's another hole in it. I tell you what, just use these. There's no extra holes. It's a ton easier. If you have kids that aren't really used to picking up fish, or the significant other, whoever it is, clip that on there. Or even if you get one of those unruly fish that you don't necessarily want to lip, they got teeth, clamp down on them. Tame that bad habit. The next item, I'm not sure if a lot of people know about this. I know it around here in the Midwest, mosquitoes are horrible. I would highly recommend a THERMACELL. If you're somebody that likes to sit on the bank in one spot in your chairs and do some fishing, these things are like gold. They run on little butane cartridges. You stick them in there, as you can see on the sheet. They have these little insect repellent mats. You put it in there, turn that baby on, and it puts out a cloud of mosquito repelling goodness. Now, these each last for about 4 hours per strip. Basically, a whole one of these will last, I think, 12 hours per cartridge. So they sell little refills, but I tell you what, super, super way to keep mosquitoes away. They don't work against gnats. I'm telling you, against mosquitoes, they are no joke. Now, if you're somebody that runs and guns like me on the bank, you're thinking, well, I'm not gonna just like lug this around with me or hold it in my hand. I found out they have holsters for these. Might sound a little corny, a little weird, but I mean, you could always get a holster of one of these and clip it to your belt. Or, I didn't even think about it, my tackle backpack has these. I could clip it in that, walk around and be done. Done are the days of having to use this stuff, which I carry around and use on me. I'm sure that's not good on the skin or body, 40% deep, being all over me. But gosh, I hate mosquitoes. So one more tool in your arsenal, the old THERMACELL. The next item on the list is something I was extremely skeptical of, never ever bought one. This happens to be a Yeti. Now, I'm not promoting Yeti. I'm not sponsored by any of these things that I'm endorsing. Happened to win this one in a cornhole tournament at work. If you don't know what cornhole is, look it up. You know, the beanbag toss game in the hole. Love that game. But anyway, won this at work, very skeptical, but I tell you what, I did a test of this. I'm like, do these things really work? At work, put it with ice in it, some water, left it from that morning all the way till the next morning I got in, and it still was like half full of ice. If you're an angler that likes to pond hop or use your car, you're taking your rods in and out, if you have a water bottle with you in your backpack in the summer, it's gonna turn to warm pea water in no time. And the last thing you wanna drink to stay hydrated is warm pea water. So cold water is better than that. Now, you don't have to get something like this if you don't like Yeti. I know some people love them or hate them, but get a good quality one. My buddy Randizzle has a HYDROFLASK. It's like this size all the way up and down, but it's got a screw top on it. That thing is no joke. He's the one that convinced me because we were out one day, all day, getting our car. It's like 100 degrees out. He's like, oh gosh, this water's so good. He's drinking that. He's like, it's a HYDROFLASK, bro. Haven't you ever heard of these things? I hadn't heard of them. I never, bought into the Yeti thing. So something similar to this. So something like a Yeti or some sort of insulated cup. Next is something that a lot of people already have and own, but I want to stress the importance of it because skin cancer is no joke. Some sort of skin protection clothing, whether it's just a shirt, whether it's gloves, or your neck gaiter buff type deal that keeps your face and everything. I was not a believer in these either, but having to smear on sun stuff and getting sunburn and having people in your family and people that I know affected by skin cancer, it is no joke. It's nothing to play around with. These are something you can get people. You can't have too many of them. When you're out fishing on those hot summer days, it's not like you're doing laundry every day. These stack up. You don't want to keep wearing them day after day because you get that stanky funk going on in them. So you just throw them in the hamper and grab a new one. Now, I'll be honest, the whole neck, face buff thing takes some getting used to, but hear me out. Not only does it protect you from the sun, the first time I was using one of these, out fishing, never wore one of these before, I'm like, is this thing really gonna work? Old boy fishing next to me is like, we can't catch any fish. This dude on the thing next to me is the only one catching fish. Who's he looking like Jesse James over there? So not only does it protect you from the sun, it also makes you either look like a BA biker dude or an outlaw from the old west. I'll take either one. Neck gaiter, sun protection, get them. You don't want skin cancer. The second to last item on my list are rod covers. If you're not already using these, get some. They help protect your guides when you've got them all, stacked together or throw them in your car, whatever it is. They prevent everything from getting tangled. However, if you're looking at some of these, get some of the new ones that have the little elastic deal on here that comes down and straps around your reel handle. Because when I have these all in my car or my SUV, when I take them out, they slide off. They don't have anything keeping them on here. So I would highly recommend some with that little elastic piece that wraps around here. That way they stay on perfect. So important because the last thing you want to do is pull one of these out, get it caught, break a tip, break a guide. Why does it always seem to be the spinning combo that gets stuck in everything? Yet another reason I tend to leave the spinning combo at home. I'm just kidding, spinning combo guys. I like them. Now the final item, number 10 on my list, are these lure covers. These things have saved me a ton of headache. They cover your lure, especially treble hooks, for transport. Now, you've got them in the back of your car, SUV. Last thing you want are treble hooks getting in your seats or stuck on all your other combos. Also, if you're like me and you like to do a bunch of bank fishing, you're holding all your rods like this, the last thing you want to do is grab a handful of treble hook, and it keeps all your rods from getting all tangled up. It's Velcro around the outside, as you can see it here. Velcro that, open it up, and that's all it is. Just a little Velcro pack. This one's dirty. I happen to pick these up from Shields Outfitters. They're pretty old, but there's a bunch of them online. Again, I'll have these linked below, but they save a ton of headache. Now, as I'm walking around, I just keep these in my back pocket after I take them off. I'm fishing a little spot. I want to make a long walk somewhere. I'll just put these back on. So again, everything's not getting all tangled up. The ones I picked up came in two sizes, the little smaller guys and the bigger ones. So pick whichever size you want, and tell you what, they come in handy. So that's it. Those are my top 10 useful fishing items. Not a rod or a reel, something a little bit different you can get people, and they'll definitely put them to use. Now, for those of you that stuck around, what about something different, something a little bit more unique that you can't get in the stores around here? Well, shameless plug for my boys, Zach and Andrew over at Looking for Fish. Two guys I am very happy I've had the pleasure of meeting. They have new hats in. I will link their Instagram page down below. Check it out. They've got these for sale. I think they're 20 or 25 bucks, but two very good dudes. If you're looking for a new lucky fishing hat, check them out. They would appreciate the support more than you know. So that's it. That's all for today. And as always, I appreciate every single one of you out there who take the time to watch my videos. It means a lot. So yeah, until next time.